I can hear it now. Band take the field, and out of that eastern tunnel pour 215 well-drilled, well-disciplined Michigan bandsmen. They pour over the eastern sideline, they pour in the big block in, and they play the greatest college fight song ever written.
It's a pass.
No, you got it wrong. That's not the sign.
Oh, all right.
How many times do I got to go over the signs with you? We're going to have to start all over again. It's going to take us 3 weeks to put in a brand new sign.
I was busy repairing some vacuums. I got a new side hustle. There's the vacuum shop in Ann Arbor got shut down. So,
all right. Well, my bad. All right. I was trying to say happy birthday to my friend Trace and to my sister-in-law Erin and my niece Renee. So that's what I was trying to say there.
All right. Happy birthdays all around. Yeah. Awesome, man. So big week. We did our usual kind of go into turtle mode in the second half of that game, and it worked. Got the W. I can't remember a bigger, we've had some big weeks the last few years, but this game, with everything that's gone on this season, the importance of this Michigan-Ohio State game is off the charts.
Yeah, we're going to kill him. I
love it.
We're going to win. You want to talk a little RPOs?
Let's talk RPOs while you're getting that pulled up. People are buying a lot of new construction houses. I have 3 clients doing new construction right now, ones that are ready to almost be bought. So Realtor and Lender.com, spec houses. So if you don't know what spec house is, it's almost all done. I got a lot of clients interested in those right now, which is cool. Rates dropped to around 7.25%. So some good news on that front. So hopefully that trend will continue, and hopefully another trend will continue, which is not being sad the weekend after Thanksgiving. So let's check out RPOs.
Yeah. So what I wanted to get into is, and I wrote about this in Next Sharpies and in UFR as well, but I thought this is a good forum to really talk about the RPO part of it. The way Michigan wants to defend, and they're going to do this against Ohio State too, is they want to save their safeties to double up on receivers. Obviously, because Marvin Harrison's coming down the pipeline, right? And Emeka Egbuka, but they've got one of the best receivers in college football history, and they want to save their safeties to deal with that. So how do you do that? Well, you try to defend the box light. So they're going to run this stretch play right here. They're running stretch to the boundary, which Ohio State stopped doing, but that was kind of what Ohio State was doing early this season. The way Michigan wants to defend it is get play side of their blockers. See, we had a little struggle over on this side, right? And the idea is to force him to cut back because eventually you're just going to beat these blocks. This guy was supposed to go hit him. But the point is, we're with the same number of players in the box as they do. So here's all our run defenders. Here's the guys committed to the run. And here's all their run guys. They have the same number of blockers as we have guys. So we have to beat somebody in order to get the back because the guy we have for the back is all the way back here. All right? And this safety, look, he's dropping back. So the idea is with RPOs, the way Michigan wants to defend an RPO is basically just force you to run it. We think that our light box is going to beat everything up here. They're going to force you to throw an RPO. And so they leave him back here. This is Makari Page back here. They're having him sit on that. The problem is Maryland is very aware of how we do this, right? Josh Gaddis was our offensive coordinator. They know exactly how we want to defend this. He gets a little too low. They run a slip screen behind him, and there's all that space to throw.
So, Seth, how much of Makari Page is kind of sticking right by the line right there is the fact that if he goes with a receiver that goes a little deeper, Tua's got – not Tua, his brother – Talia has the outside there. We don't have the same wheels on Kyle McCord that we had to face in this offense.
Yeah.
So
no, you're absolutely right. So this is something that they ran at Bama with Tua actually a lot too. Remember Gaddis and Loxley were both the offensive coordinators over at Alabama, and this is a staple play for them. All right, where they have this double. And the point I'm trying to make here is that they actually want to lean towards pass. So Michigan with Makari Page right here, he's stepping in a little bit, but he's really not part of the run box, right? He's really just supposed to step back and take away this slant. And you're right. This slant here is going to be open, and it's incumbent on, this is Samer still out here. It's incumbent on Samer still to kind of hammer down on that one. Michigan is not playing it like this is going to be a pass. They're playing it like, okay, as long as we have a guy out here to deter this, that's going to be a deterrent. It's not, because Maryland is focused on this exact like RPO, right? They run this stuff all the time. In fact, I drew this one up. Okay. So this double slant RPO, this is something they love to run. Here's their run play, right? They have the same number of guys as we have in the box. So they have a blocker for every hat down here, right? And we have a safety up here that we're trying to leave high to protect us from the pass. And then they're going to be reading him over here on this RPO, right? And that read is a lot wider. It's a lot longer read for him. It's leaning pass is what I'm trying to make. So I got, if it's, if he comes into here, you throw it. Anywhere in this area, if he comes up in here, fine, then you have to hand it off, right? But the idea is they're going to lean towards pass. They want to get this a pass. They want to have these slants. So where's Makari Page go? He goes right into that red, right? And they've got this backside slant too, so if they defend him or he hammers down on this, then you should have this slant available. And what's Michigan doing? They're dropping back because Michigan's approach to this is to say, we're deterring it. All right? So let's close this up. Let's watch another same play, right? So they're running stretch the boundary, okay? And they're running these double slants behind here. Now this time, Page gets right underneath it, right? He's taking that away. And just like you said, look at that.
Yep.
And if you watch, look to the safety up here, he's not, he's watching him, right? That's where they hit him last time. They're trying to take away the RPO. They're saying don't throw the RPO. But the way that Maryland reads this is he's looking at both these guys at the same time. They've repped this a whole bunch. This is a staple play for them. And they actually took it out of their offense for several weeks to lull Michigan into thinking they're not going to have this. But this has been a staple play. It was a staple play for them in Alabama. Here they are running it again. Now, they also mess with this, right? So here's the same thing, except they're running a power play over here, and they're actually going to read the front side of it. So instead of a tight end being out here blocking, they're reading this safety. He has to stay high. And because he's staying high, they have a hat for everybody, and, Colson doesn't get over in time, and they actually have some running room. So it still looks like the same thing. Maryland was able to basically do this all game and replace the run game. So Michigan's idea is, look, we're going to beat you. We have 5 guys. You have 5 blockers. You have 6 blockers. We have 6 guys. We're going to have the same number of guys as blockers in the box, and we're going to get your running back, even though because we're going to beat a block somewhere, right? Either you're going to have to double us and are going to beat the double and throw the guy behind us, or you're going to single block somebody and he's just going to throw him to the ground. So, what Michigan actually had to do in order to kind of cut this stuff off is go to single high coverage, right? And so here you are. They're leaving one guy high. They're bringing a safety in now. Now you're playing man, right? And they actually still almost got us because Moore here sees the tight end sticking in. And look at
that. Yeah.
So Maryland really had, and this is something that Ohio State ran last year. Do you remember?
Well, Ohio State loves to sneak tight ends out like that. That's been a staple of their offense for years to have a tight end look like he's blocking down and take off. So that's definitely something we have to watch.
Absolutely. And they got more right there. And this is something that, they'd shown they had not shown that particular RPO. They hadn't really released their tight ends like that. That's something Ohio State does. So thanks for the help. Thanks for the practice.
Yeah.
But it's not something that Maryland normally does. Maryland had some really interesting stuff just for this game. Here's another one. Michigan's just misaligned here. They're like, look at Singer still going, get over here. They got 3 versus 2 out here, right? And so they like to use RPOs down in the box in the goal line as well. Now, obviously, if they get within 1 yard, they just do the tush push and they get half a yard per play, and it works. But they're like, hey, Moore, what are you doing? He actually gets out here. Watch him book him out there. They have a bad throw, and he has a chance to actually make this play because of the bad throw, even though he has to kind of, dip up around here. Now, he shouldn't have been out there. He should have been at least splitting the gap in here and sitting right in here so that he could attack either one. The idea is you want to make it hard. And I kind of wanted to show, that's why I was showing this, right? You want to have the guy being read kind of hanging out on this line somewhere, right? So you got that receiver coming in. You want to just kind of slip along this line, make it a hard read for him. Make him want to. That's how you're supposed to play any read. Make it a difficult look, because then the longer you're holding on to this, right? The longer you're making this read hard for him, the longer this running back is waiting in the backfield for the handoff. And eventually you just have to make a decision. And the longer he's waiting, the more the defense has time to react. So that's how you're supposed to be playing these things straight up. And the other way you can play is just man up. So here's another goal line situation. This is another RPO. They put all these guys out here to kind of space things out. Okay. They're going to try to read out here, but there's nothing to read, right? You can watch him. He's looking out there. There's the guy he's reading. He's staying away from the play, but he has to hand it off. And as long as you hand it off, Michigan's going to just beat you one-on-one.
Yeah, and I mean, for Ohio State, it's gonna take the defensive line, interior front, making those plays, beating blocks, and getting some pressure. Because when you're talking about a Maryland receiver out wide, singled up, it's a lot different than Marvin Harrison outside singled up. So those are just some plays that we're just going to have to make in order to slow them down. And we're not going to stop them. It's not going to be they're going to score some points, but. No, that's a really interesting look at it. Man, I loved Marvin Harrison because I won so many fantasy football championships back when I had time to focus on that. But
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I know.
But the junior, not so much. Not so much.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing is, I just made the chart for the Brufo film, which is going to go later today. Well, probably by the time people see this, it'll already be out. But I've never had so few stars. And look at their offensive line. This is not a vintage Ohio State offensive line that can just beat you. So if Michigan can get away with it, right? Michigan can play with a light box and get away with that and use their safeties to defend the pass. That's how they really have a strong day against this team. So yeah, it's. I don't think they're going to stop them entirely. I think that Trevion Henderson's going to get loose a couple times. I think that some of their blockers are better than we really give them credit for. Donovan Jackson's pretty good player. He was a top 20 overall player. Matthew Jones has regressed. Carson Hinsman, I have some doubts about. So yeah, man, I hate how I hate doing this because everyone's always like, man, Ohio State's so good. They're ranked ahead of us, blah, blah, blah. But we've been watching football for a long time and been watching Ohio State all year. And I just, there's lots of ways that Michigan could have lost to Maryland, right? Like there's a lot of ways where you can be not yourself. But I think JJ's going to play well. I think that our defense is going to, play their heads off. And this is what it's all about. This is what they've been practicing for all year. This is the game. Every game before this was just prelude, way more so than even most years. Like this.
Some lucky Uber driver could have the fare of his life carting Ryan Day back to Columbus if this doesn't go his way. I can't see him really wanting to get on that bus.
No, we'll send Urban Meyer's pizza cart out for him.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Who's got the cold Papa John's ready?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's the level that Ohio State has gone to try to sink this team. And, we all know about the sign thing, and now it's coming out that Ohio State's operation was actually probably illegal and worse. So, man, like the slings and arrows this team's taken, I can understand if they're not focused last week, but they're going to be out. It's going to be a great game.
Yeah, I'm excited. Hopefully we'll have some positive stuff to talk about and a game versus Iowa to be preparing for and talking about next week. But you heading out to the game, Seth?
Yes, I am. I in 2021, my family, I never got it, but my family got COVID that week. So I was taking care of the kids, and my wife was laid up in bed, and I had to give my ticket. I had my brother, who's a Sparty, put on my Michigan shirt and take his stepson. So I owe that kid, well, he owes me, a trip to this game because I didn't get to go in 2021, and I didn't go down to Columbus last year either. So I got sick last year too. So healthy. gonna happen, man.
Start pounding the vitamin C now, Seth. So real quick, Thanksgiving tomorrow. Happy Thanksgiving. What's the side dish for you? What's your go-to?
Oh man, my mom makes this these sweet potatoes with like marshmallows on them. It's so good.
I'm not a marshmallow guy.
Well. I know. Well, it's really good, man. She bakes the top really well, so they're like super browned. It's good.
Nice. Mine's it's called scalloped corn, and there's no scallops in it, so I don't know where scalloped come. I don't know what the cooking technique is, but it's creamed corn, a bunch of crushed up Ritz crackers and butter in layers, and it's like, probably a Depression era recipe from some great descendant, but it's just buttery corn goodness, and I'm looking forward to it. Happy Thanksgiving to you and the family, buddy.
Happy Thanksgiving to you. I wish I had time to make my tarte tatin. I used to make that, but I don't have the time for it anymore. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I made that for you. Remember? I brought that to your house for a New Year's.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Love it. All right, man. Go blue. Go blue. We'll see. The sleepless nights start soon.
Yeah.
All right. See you, Seth.